Welcome to Tradespoon Live TV. My name is Vlad Karpel and I'm the founder of Tradespoon. And today we have a special guest, Joe Cusick from Trading Block. Joe, how are you today?
I'm great, Vlad. Thanks a lot for having me on.
The major decision was FOMC meeting and the Wall Street took it well. And volatility has moved down to 13 and the stock market made a nice rally. Joe, what do you see in terms of Wall Street week ahead?
You know what, Vlad? I think there's going to be 3 or 4 areas that people are going to watch. Today we had existing home sales come out, about 4.88 million. That was better than what was expected, and I think you're going to see some upside movement. Now, looking at the XHB, there was a little bit of a pullback on the news. That's the ETF that tracks the S&P. They're pricing in the potential for about 60 cents to move this week, and going into April expiration, which is that third week, they're pricing in $1.35. With vol right around that 18 level, it's a decent amount of volatility that's being priced in there. If you want to keep an eye on the oil markets, there's been a lot of talk about what's going on with Iran and those negotiations. But again, oil has been basically pulling back, and it was up to the US oil was at around 1678. They're pricing in the potential to move about 75 cents this week. Keep an eye on oil. Nat gas. We live in the Midwest, but as you know, we had snow again this week. We're going to watch the inventories data come out. Nat gas is right now pricing in around 63 cent move just this week alone. It was down about 20 cents. Let's see if that coal air is going to start kicking that up. And then we're going to end the week with the Michigan sentiment, and that is going to give us a pretty decent indicator of what's going on as far as sentiment in the market. The S&P spiders, they're pricing in the potential to move about 218 this week. And vol is low, though. Looking at that front month implied volatility, it's back in that 11.5 range. If you look at the VIX or front month vol and the spider options, it's at 11.5. Vol is cheap this week, so we want to keep an eye on that.
Thank you, Joe, for that insight and for all the information that you provide. Now I'd like to turn attention to the second segment where we talk about mechanics of the pick. At Tradespoon, we provide a daily recommendation of how to trade stock or options. And for the past week, our analytics have shown that CHRW and Costco, ticker symbol COST and CHRW, are poised to move higher. The longer the time frame that we analyze, and the more accurate predictions are. So we're looking at the 50 days predictions, and they point to the upside. What do you see in terms of these two names, CHRW and Costco?
Well, you know what, right now, as you said, retail has been hot, and Costco is one of those big box names that everybody knows. And with oil prices basically staying low, the consumer's still active. We're going to watch these big box retailers and see if they're still going to take advantage of the few extra bucks that people have in their pocket because of cheap gas. Taking a look at trading right now at 153, it's actually higher than your when you came up with the recommendation around 150. They're pricing in through or July expiration, and this is right now. Just taking a look at the July expiration cycle of what they're pricing in the potential to move $12.32 between now and July expiration. Now that can change a lot. Vol in that 16 level is, moderate. It's not really. It's in that 15% as far as its implied volatility rank. So I think that putting on bullish plays in this sector for Costco specifically, a good call. The spreads and getting a little time on your side, July, that allows you a lot of time to be right. Just manage your winners tight. If you see about a 50% profit on the option strategies, you might pull some off of the table. As far as the stock is concerned, again, watch it. If nice little pocket, maybe $5, $6, or even $10. You might even think about taking some profits at those levels too.
Thank you, Joe, for that.
I want to switch gears real quick, Vlad, and I want to take a look at the other pick that you had that you mentioned, which was CHRW. CHRW is interesting in the fact that it has been moving to the upside. Right now, they're pricing in just this week to move about 3. And you were looking at the May options, and just looking at the movement that's being priced in there into May, you're looking around a 575 estimated move being calculated in there. And with vol still low in there, again, CRW, what is that? CH Robinson Worldwide. Very interesting play there. I think, again, you watch the earnings cycle on this one. Keep an eye on the key stock events. You want to make sure that the next earnings announcement is before May expiration. Keep an eye on that. If you start to see some of its peers reporting, because I think this is going to be a big expiration cycle, because now we don't have the Fed who's on the sidelines. Keep an eye on this one and take profits early if you can. Again, take some profits either both on the stock position or the option positions.
Thank you, Joe, for that insight. And now I'd like to turn our attention to the third segment where we talk about volatility in the market and we talk about Tradespoon technology. Tradespoon technology, the core engine is analytics that geared toward analyzing 8,000 stocks that trade on NASDAQ and New York Stock Exchange in terms of price movement in between the earnings seasons. If you can avoid binary events such as earnings in between the earnings seasons, you can actually with high certainty see if the stock has high predictability factor. And if it is, then you can find information about the stocks and whether the stock is going to be higher or lower in the next 50 days. And we're following the seasonality of the stocks and we're following the options expiration cycles. So the volatility that we've seen in the market after the FOMC meeting now has collapsed and very low, as Joe alluded in our Wall Street week ahead. And now that VIX is hovering around 12 and 13, Joe, what do you see in terms of volatility going into the next week and going into the next expiration cycle?
If you just take a look at the VIX, the VIX, and the options that are trading there, and one thing that I want to tell people about the VIX options, the cash VIX that we see and we talk about here on the show, and you'll see in the paper or talked about on other publications and news outlets, that's the cash VIX. That's not what these options are trading off of. They're actually trading off of the VIX futures. That might be a little bit confusing. And if you have any questions, email me at support@tradingblock.com, and I'll get back to you with any of those questions. But Vlad, right now, volatility has been pulling back. It has been pretty tame. But we're going to come up on the March earnings season very soon, or excuse me, the April earnings season very soon. I expect that volatility, while I think that it's going to stay low for the next 3 or 4 months going into the summer, I think that we're going to have, maybe a pop here or there. Right now they're pricing in, basically through April expiration in the VIX options, the potential to move about $2.25. Now that's not directionally biased, so I don't know if that's up or down. And it has been downside lately pretty dramatically. As you said, we alluded to that earlier in the earlier segments. I think that challenge right now is potentially going to continue, but I think that right now front month supply volatility is going to stay right around that 14, probably 14.5 to 16 level. That's where you're going to see vol hang out. And we're going to look at strategies that take advantage of low implied volatility markets, and really then we'll define our bias by using technology like you offer here at Tradespoon.
Thank you, Joe, for that insight. And if you want to find out more information about the topics that Joe and I have covered, please visit tradespoon.com to find out more information. Thank you for your time, and we will see you guys next week.